This video we're going to be talking about Alt M menu. It's not that important if you're not using BSDF mods. I'm actually using it only for one thing right now. You know, we have our add-on Materialworks, which comes with fantastic mods. Also Edgeware and HDRI maps. So, you know, we got brilliant mods. And if you're interested, grab the add-on. It's just absolutely amazing. You'll love it. And it also works now with decals, our decal packs and decal machine. So texturing and detailing is just absolutely a bliss, right? But BSDF mod. So how does it work? Alt M and you can just add a blank mod to your object. Now this mod is not going to look exactly the same in viewport as it will in render view unless you're going to turn this option on here, like I told you in the beginning, this one, right? So if you turn it off, these two colors are going to be a little bit different, right? So you know what I mean? Well, this is not maybe the best example, but this one is, right? See this color and this color, very different. If you're going to turn it on, right, things going to get a little bit better. Okay, so when you go to render view, these two are going to be very similar. Okay, well, in this case, they're not, but this could be also due to lighting. But anyway, HardOPS is going to add all these mods in a grayscale, so they're going to be, sci-fi friendly. You can also add glass. If you go to add blank mod and hold shift, you're going to add glass. And actually, that's one of the mods I'm still using because it's transparent in 3D viewport. So when I model something and I require glass, let's say I model some canopy or whatever, right, for a sci-fi ship, and I want to, cut something with, I don't know, let's say, run an end gun cut here, right, like that. I'm gonna press B for a bevel, and I just slice it, right? And I want to see, what's going on with this mesh. I'm just gonna convert it to glass, which is pretty cool, right? So shift click is gonna give you glass, and alt click is gonna give you an emissive mod. So you can see emission here. If you go to cycles or EV, you're gonna see that, okay? So that's, the basics of Alt M menu. Now, if you want to add different mods to, all the objects in your scene, select all of them, Alt M and Control click on Add Blank Mod. This is going to add different mod to all the objects. It's a bit easier to see when I'm gonna turn this off, right? You see what I mean? And Blender gonna crash. I actually have noticed that Blender crashes with Alt M menu in 4.3. I don't know if they actually updated it. And there were also some bugs with other functions of this Alt M menu we're going to be talking about in a minute. So, brace yourself. Things aren't very stable, okay? I'm guessing they haven't worked on this menu for some time. But anyway, now let's say you got these multiple mods here. So Alt M and Control click. Wait a minute, I didn't select these. Let me just turn this off here. Turn it off. It's going to be easier to see, okay? There we go. And if we go into, let me just change this code. That's fantastic. Perfect. Now, if I'm going to create a new object, right? So cube and new object. And if I wanted to reuse one of these mods here in the scene, by the way, you can see all the mods you have in the scene here, and they're going to be the same ones as in here, right? What you want to do is you want to go to Alt M and you want to go to Material Scroll and you want to Control click. This is going to scroll through all the mods in a scene. You can see here in the top, mod 0.6, which is this one, then 0.2 and this one 0.5. It's going to scroll, through all these mods, which is 3 of them. Now, if you're going to hold Shift, however, you're going to create completely new mods. Right, you can see that this mod doesn't change, it's 0.6, but the color changes, right? And since these two mods were the same, they both update, okay, see that? So you're gonna be creating new mod with each scroll, okay? If you're gonna have a lot of objects in the scene, I mean, really a lot, right? So let's create that many and add different mods to all of them. So Control click, you're gonna have a lot of mods in here. So if you're not using all these objects, let's say you delete some of them, let's say we're gonna delete all of them except these 4, you're gonna still have these mods here in the scene, right? So if you're gonna go to Alt M, you'll see all the mods because they're still present in a scene, right? You want to purge them if you're not using them, okay? So go here and purge, and it's going to remove all the unnecessary rubbish from your scene, and this menu is going to become a bit more manageable, okay? Now, next one is going to be this map scroll, and I'm pretty sure that in your case it's going to be grayed out. And the reason why it's grayed out is because you have to link the folder first to HardOPS. So you want to either go here to add-ons and go to HardOPS, and this is a longer way of doing it. And go to here to properties, scroll down, and this folder, okay? You want to relink it to whatever folder you have maps in, and you need grunge maps. I'm gonna show you in a minute. So, go to your destination. I'm gonna click on Gmaps, which is grunge maps, accept, and it's gonna link the folder here. By default, this path is different. Anyway, save prefs, okay? You can also get to this location by pressing Ctrl K, which is a bit quicker, because it's the same preference menu, and you just go to properties here and you change this the same thing, okay? Then just remember to save prefs here, okay? Save prefs and okay. It's important. All right, now let's just clean this map, this scene here, and I'm gonna grab a new cube, okay? And let me show you the grunge maps. So, the grunge maps are just basically squared maps. You can have them in either JPEG format or PNG. You can go to Gumroad or wherever, like Unsplash, and get paid or free maps. There's tons of them on the internet, okay? So, do that. Now, there used to be a link here. If you press on Q and go to settings and link ops, that's our course, by the way, the game master course. But if you scroll, there should be, there used to be a link to a website, Gumroad store with grunge maps, and I don't see it anymore, so I don't know, maybe it's gone. But for some reason it's not here. Or maybe they just simply, stopped working on updating the maps, and that's why, because I had some problems with this tool. So anyway, let me show you. I'm gonna add a mat here, so just add a blank mat. And now I'm going to go to Alt M and I'm gonna click on maps, and it's going to switch me to lookdev. You see here in the top, lookdev, right? Now nothing really happens because the maps are not linked correctly. If I press tab, you see instead of PNGs, I need to switch to JPEGs, okay? Because I'm using JPEGs, and boom, now we have it, right? I'm not sure why it's linking my Sync24 Assiduous audio files, but don't ask. I think it's just something is not right here. But in any case, we got the maps linked, and now you can scroll through them. I got only 2 maps, right? So I can scroll through 2 maps. And you got this H menu in the bottom, right? So you can, for example, hold Control and, change the size of the map. You can press N and turn it on and off. You can also hold Shift and you can make it brighter or darker. You can also hold Alt and add contrast if you want to, so make it really grungy, right? Or kind of fade out. And, that's a really cool way of adding some kind of, a bit of a flair to your models. Like I said, this is far inferior in comparison to our add-on, because, this is why I'm not using it anymore. Our add-on Materialworks is just brilliant, and it's just, I absolutely love it. And we have such a good selection of mats. Very, very beautiful mats, like half matte steel, for sci-fi. Or something a bit more interesting, like, for example, carbon fiber. There we go. This lighting is not the best one, so let me change to, there we go. Yeah, so, really cool mats, right? Let's just add this one to the cube, right? And I'm gonna show you the wear here. So boom, right? And you can then, you have all kinds of settings here for strength, color, whatnot. And you can keep stacking them with different effects, like Rust, for example. You have different Rust maps, So let's say let's go for Rust C, and obviously you can change the strength of this map and whatnot. So you can create some really sick mats, and also you have access to the procedural bevel, so you don't have to worry about bevel if if you don't want to. And these are now working with decal machines, so you can use them with decals, and it's a very quick way of texturing and detailing now. And we also have 2 massive packs of decals, and you can buy them with a bundle together with Materialworks on our website. Anyway, so that this would be basically all about this Alt M menu, or everything you need to know really. And this option on the top here, don't worry about it. It's just hiding names for files like decals and such. I don't think it's really important anymore. I never really had need for this, never really used it. These days, all I do is simply, go to blank mat and shift click if I need glass in viewport, and that's all I use this menu for. And sometimes I use it for the emissive mats, Alt M and Alt click, right, which is really convenient. Other than that, I don't really use it, but for these two, I still, sometimes use this menu. Anyway, so that's it for this video, and the next one we're gonna be talking about the Control tilde menu, which is quite important if you want to set a few things in HardOPS. So I'll see you then.